Hello students, now let us talk about the second part of the VS of mature ovule. Look, listen and learn. So let us see how does a mature anatropous ovule appear in the VS. Please remember this is a very important diagram in your chapter. So we are going to draw this diagram, right? On my left, what you're going to see is the drawing of the ovule. What I've just drawn is the stalk. There you go. The body, it is inverted and therefore anatropous. Please remember, it is an integumented structure. So what I've drawn now are the integument. Right in the center is the main body. There you go. One more integument. And finally in the center, there's a yellow structure. We'll be talking about all these structures very soon. Remember, in that yellow structure at the base, there are 3 cells. Also at the top, there are 3 more cells. And right in the center of that yellow structure, you will see 1 more cell. And this is a complete diagram of the VS of a mature anatropous ovule. Let us go ahead and label every part here and study about them in detail. So the very first part there, the stalk, which is called as the funiculus. Remember, the funiculus is the stalk of the ovule which attaches the body of the ovule to the ovary. Yes? And what you see, that bulky part is the body of the ovule. Now remember raphe? Now raphe basically is that point, right, where the funicle is still attached to the body. And the raphe may even persist in mature seeds. Is that okay? Now remember, the same funiculus is attached to the base of the body at a part or at a point which is called as the hilum. So the next structure for you is the hilum. And what is the hilum? You can say that funiculus is attached to the basal part of the body at a point called as hilum. Right? Moving on. Now this structure right in the center, which is the main part of the body, is called as nucellus. Please remember, the word is nucellus and not nucleus. Is that okay? So what is the nucellus? The nucellus is the main central bulk of the ovule's body. The nucellus is also called as the megasporangium proper, because that is the proper megasporangium of the ovule where megasporogenesis will take place. Is that okay? And finally, you should know that the nucellus is nothing but mainly made up of many diploid parenchyma cells. Is that okay? Now, let us look at another part. Right up there, what you see is the chalaza. But remember, because the body is inverted, the chalaza actually is the basal part of the nucellus. Is that okay? So you can say that the chalaza is the basal part of the nucellus from where the integuments will develop. And that end is also called as the chalazal end. Is that okay? The next structure, what you see are the integuments. Now remember, integuments originated from the chalazal end. Right? So you can say they are protective coverings of the nucellus. You can also say that the integuments develop from the chalazal end. You can also say that they completely surround the nucellus except at the terminal end where it is still open. Yes? And finally, you should know that in angiosperms, there are usually 2 integuments and therefore angiosperms are called as bitegmic. This is a very important word for you. Right? Moving on. The final part in this module is going to be the micropyle. Now what is micropyle? I told you at the terminal end where the integuments do not cover the nucellus, that opening is called as the micropyle. So you can say that the integuments leave a narrow opening at the terminal end called as the micropyle. Also remember, this end of the ovule is also called as the micropylar end of the ovule. Is that okay? Moving on. This brings us to the end of the second part of the VS of mature ovule. In the next module, I will be talking about the third part of the VS of the mature ovule. Till then, thank you and take care.